Hey guys, so this was announced a couple of days ago, but we just finally got our hands on one. This is the Samsung Galaxy S20 FE. Now, FE stands for Fan Edition by Samsung standards, and basically what that means is this is the phone for the people that wanted a Galaxy S20 when it was announced, but just didn't pick one up for whatever reason, whether it was monetary or otherwise. Now, the original Galaxy S20 was pretty expensive. The standard Galaxy S20 cost $999, and the S20 Plus cost $1,200. And there's kind of this gap in the market for where Samsung can place their phones, because right now they've got the A series, that's the super low-end devices that only cost up to like the mid $500 range, even though they're usually had for about $400. And then you've got the S series, the Note series, the Fold series. Those are all well over $1,000. So there's kind of this gap in between that price range that Samsung hasn't really filled yet. And that is where the S20 FE comes in. Now, Samsung wants to make the S20 FE as similar to the regular S20 as possible. So you've got a really similar design here. You've got a similar camera array, a similar looking screen, but there's definitely some tweaks that they made to this phone to make it a little bit cheaper. Number one, the phone is made of plastic. You're not going to get that glass that you got on the regular S20, but I actually do like this plastic quite a bit. It feels pretty nice in your hand, and it feels a lot better, in my opinion at least, than the Glastic material that they used on the A series devices. Number two, the display is flat. So I actually like this quite a bit because rounded screen devices generally have a lot of ghost touches, and the S20 FE, at least in my testing so far, has not suffered from that anymore. Also, this phone has a little bit of a chin on the bottom of the phone, and I think that's just kind of Samsung saying, yeah, you paid for a relatively expensive device, but you didn't pay for our most expensive device, so we're just gonna give you a little bit of bezel. The other thing that's new is the camera system. Now, you do have the same main 12 megapixel sensor, wide angle 12 megapixel sensor, but the telephoto sensor is an 8 megapixel sensor, whereas with the S20, you had a 64 megapixel sensor that was doing this 3x crop to give you a 3x zoom. Now on the front, you've got a 32 megapixel selfie shooter, and that is a lot more high resolution than the 10 megapixel camera that was on the Galaxy S20 on the front, but it doesn't have that dual pixel autofocus that we saw on the Galaxy S20, so it might not focus as well, but honestly, it's still gonna perform pretty well. Now you are still getting that 120 Hz display on this phone, which I think was a big point for Samsung. They wanted to make sure that you were still getting that same fluid experience that you got on the original Galaxy S20. And it can also charge at 25 watts, but unfortunately Samsung only put a 15-watt charger in the box, similar to the Galaxy Z Flip, so it's gonna charge a little bit slower. However, it does have wireless charging up to 15 watts, and you can do reverse wireless charging just like you can do on the other devices. But the S20 FE does have a 4,500 milliamp hour battery, which is actually the same size as the Samsung Galaxy S20 Plus. And because it's got a slightly smaller display and lower resolution display, this should potentially help battery life, but we'll have to see during our full review. And maybe most importantly, the Samsung Galaxy S20 FE still does have the Snapdragon 865, so you're getting pretty much the same performance that you were getting out of the Galaxy S20 series. You're getting a little bit less RAM with 6 gigabytes, and you're getting 128 gigabytes of storage with no other options, though it is expandable, so that's something to think about. I think something that's a little bit weird about the Samsung Galaxy S20 FE is that, yeah, it's $699, which is technically a good price compared to the $999 of the original Galaxy S20. But if you go on Amazon right now, you can find the original Galaxy S20 for less than $699. You can find it for something like $672 or something like that. And that kind of just puts it in an awkward position. Most Android phones kind of lose their value over time, and Samsung usually puts their phones on sale like 1 month or 2 months after they originally go on sale. So the price of these phones just drops dramatically. And the fact that you can get an original standard Galaxy S20, which has a more premium design and better cameras and better features, just makes this a little bit of a weird release. Now that being said, the Galaxy S20 Fan Edition comes in a ton of colors. It comes in 6 really bright, vibrant colors, and if you didn't like the color selection from the Galaxy S20, this could be an option and a reason to get this phone. Now we're going to be doing a full review on the Samsung Galaxy S20 FE, so stay tuned for that because there could be a lot more to this phone than really meets the eye. But I think in the future, Samsung should probably release the Fan Edition with the standard edition of the phone so that it actually makes sense to buy it at that $200 or $300 cheaper price point versus the standard version of the phone. Anyways, guys, it's pretty much October, which means we've got a ton of videos coming up. We've got the Pixel 5 that's coming soon, the Pixel 4a 5G. We've got the OnePlus 8T. There's so many phones because it's Techtober yet again. So I will catch you guys in some videos coming very soon.